Oh hey, didn't notice you there. What's up YouTube? Back again with another video. We're gonna take a little leather paint and we're gonna make some new creations. Something you might not have seen before. I literally think I might have created it, I don't know. So stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a scrap piece of leather like this. Maybe you've thrown this out. Maybe you don't have anything small enough to go in these open areas. I have a problem with having tons and tons of pieces of scrap leather everywhere. Probably threw some away that I shouldn't have thrown away in the past. We're going to take this scrap leather, we're going to add a little leather paint, and we're going to make a new hat. I've never seen this technique used anywhere else. Also, I'm a big YouTube guy. I YouTube everything. This just kind of came off the top of the dome. I love the way 3D embroidery looks on hats. I don't have an embroidery machine, but to get that same 3D effect, that 3D pop, with a little bit of color, and our good friends at Lightburn, we're gonna make 3D leather hat. 3D leather, I'm gonna come up with a name eventually. Also, I have not made a video in 10 days, 16 hours. I've just been really busy pumping out orders, doing a little side hustle job. But I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. When I was last here, I had 281 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I have right now? Right now I have 381. 101 subscribers in 10 days. Are you guys serious? Thank you so much. I appreciate you greatly. I am astonished. I cannot believe this. I really hope that this technique that I show you today adds to your repertoire, adds to your business, adds to your clientele, hopefully something they love, they enjoy, and a way for you to save resources, save a little extra space on the leather sheet. Took a little nap on the old office cot right there. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, no biggie. Grind never stops, sun came out, let's get after it. All right, we're gonna jump right into Lightburn and how we take an image and get that image to turn into pieces of leather that go onto a hat. Now, I'm no expert on Lightburn. I'm self-taught, just like you most likely. So I might do things a little funky, just bear with me. But as you can see here on the screen, I have my image. Now you can take a PNG, you can take, you can save a picture off the internet and make that your laser engraving image. If you want to sell it, you need to have rights to it. But here is KDO. This is my logo. I have just a PNG. What we're going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to select it. I'm going to click on KDO, the image. It's in gray right now. And we want to go right click and come down to trace image. Trace image is going to show cutoff, threshold. When it comes to like not a very sophisticated logo like this, you don't need to worry about cutoff, threshold. When you got really detailed, really intricate engravings, you need to have an SVG really, SVG. It's just a better file for laser engraving. PNGs, you're not going to have the super crisp details down pat. But as I zoom in here, you can see that it's pink around where it's going to trace out, and it traces out our logo. So I hit OK, and now it is in this blue color. So everyone on Lightburn, you're going to have different settings for different functions. Line cuts, you're cutting, you're engraving, maybe jagged lines. But what you want to do is you want to just remember which one's which. Like I know green is always my cut. So if I'm cutting out a piece of leather, it's always green. It's always set to the same settings, the same speed, the same power. I just know that every time. I know that yellow, which is 5, I think. No, 4. Number 4, it's labeled here in the bottom left corner. I'll circle right here. I know yellow is my engrave, so I know that it's going to be the exact same power every time. And depending on the thickness of your leather, that can change everything. So you might have to have multiple settings, multiple numbers. I really just use the 2. I don't really deal with different leather. I usually use 3.5 to 4 ounce leather. That seems to be right for me. Maybe you like something else, that's completely fine. So I have this selected. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna go down to ungroup. I do that because I want to move around these letters. Also, I want to keep the letter A all together, the cutout in the middle and the letter O all together. So I right click on those letters, come down and hit group, okay? And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and make this my cut line. I select 3 down here because that's my automatic cut line like we went over. It already has my settings in. And what I did is I already went over a few test patches. So I made this K, right? And I made this little K, big K, little K. The little K just looks better to me. It's gonna be your preference, whatever you think. Maybe you have a little small spot of leather that you have to work with and you just wanna use that. That's perfectly fine. I'm using the letters that are 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch. Losing it. 3/4 of an inch, okay? 3/4 of an inch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to T. I'm going to straighten it out, okay? And then I'm going to see right here, top left corner, height, 1.39 inches. I want to get that down to 0.75 so everything's uniform, all right? Let's go select our entire logo, come down. There's probably an easier way to do this. I bet you there is, but this is the way that I do it. Like I said, I'm no expert. Come over and select our T again. It's 0.87. And make the whole logo a little bit smaller. Probably too small right there. Oh no, just 0.3 more. That's probably too small. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I'm actually gonna remove this apostrophe and make this shamrock the apostrophe. Just looks cooler that way to me, I don't know. So I got that. And then I already have it ready to go. Check it here. And what I mean by I already have it ready to go is I already tested a bigger letter, I tested a smaller letter, and this letter that's 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch, it just fits the hat better for me. I just put it on the hat with nothing, no heat or anything like that, and I just lined it up and I said, wow, that's a great looking hat. That's all it is to it. But I play a little Tetris and I get them as close together. There's no downfall and space them out a little bit more. I just want to save as much space as possible for me. Yeah, as long as they don't overlap, you're good to go. And then you get to the next process is paint. The leather paint, we're gonna go over that. I did a couple layers of leather paint. I did a layer last night, and next in the video, you'll see I do my second layer. Stay tuned. Second layer, we're using the Angelus green leather paint. I bought it off Amazon in a 12-pack. I believe it comes out to like $3.50 per bottle. Whenever you do that, super affordable. That link is in the description below. And I'm just measuring out just to show you how much I painted of this piece of leather. I painted about 3.5 by 4 inches of leather. This is show you next my second coat. Second coat going on. I usually wait about 24 hours in between coats, or if I'm in a rush, I'll take my heat gun and really get that dried, really get that ready for the second coat. But yeah, I just spread it evenly, and I'm just trying to make this video as detailed as possible so that I don't leave out anything you might have a question about. But if you do have a question, leave it in the comments. So yeah, this is just me painting. A little bit of this stuff, like I said, goes a long way. You can, I bet you can paint a freaking chair, a leather chair with one of these bottles. I mean, at least one coat. This stuff really goes a long way. And at $3.50, that's pretty good. But it comes in all kinds of different colors. You'll see later on. There's a black, a blue, purple, all kinds. You'll see in that link as well. Pretty even layer right there. And now I'm just going to show you kind of what I'm finished with. And it's on brown leather. You don't have to use brown leather. You can use any layer, any leather color. Also, I have the hide bond on the back. Already applied. Already applied the hide bond before I started this because it was a scrap. I was just cutting things out. I have taped my leather, scrap leather that's painted green down to the honeycomb that does not come with your laser engraver. You buy it separately. And now I get the leather engraving. Just cutting here. The hide bond is a thicker material, so it does take a couple passes. I believe I have it on 4 passes to get the leather cut perfectly without having too many edges. You'll see what we do if you get too many edges here soon. Taking a little pick that came with like a Cricut thing from Walmart. I don't even own a Cricut, but it just seemed like a cool tool. Taking that out just to pull it out for effect. So here I'm taking an X-Acto knife. Sometimes the hide bond there'll be a little bitty sliver on the side, and I don't want the glue or the adhesive effect to show up on the outer edges of all my leathers. So I make sure I cut that off pretty perfectly because I want a crisp, clean hat. Yeah, it looks like it just hangs off just a little bit. And I went ahead and made a 4-leaf clover instead of a 3 for this, just because it fit better on the hat. I'm taking a measuring tape, fabric measuring tape, I suppose, and I'm just measuring out how I want my spacing to be with my letters. At this point, I don't really have to do that a lot because I've done so many now. But yeah, I usually take it and I'll put it across the hat, the tape, measuring tape first. I'll put it across the hat and I'll see what kind of space I'm dealing with. And then I'll kind of keep it within that space. I think right here I wanted to keep it within 4.5 inches across the front of the hat. So I have 4.5 inches out right there, and that's why I decided to put the shamrock where I put the shamrock in this video. But yeah, so I've got my Hotronix 360 IQ, my baby here. I snapped the back of the hat just so tighter it is, the less chance of it slipping off the crank handle. I don't know what they call that exactly. But yeah, I'm securing it down. I'm flattening it out. This hat is really easy. It's thin material. It's really easy to flatten out. Richardson 112s, not as easy. You got to really work them. As always, if you've watched my videos, I lint roll like crazy. That's what I'm doing here. I'm lint rolling. And I've placed my letters down. Now I'm going to pause the video right here. Just wanted to pause the video to give a couple tips on how to line up the letters on the hat once it's already on the heat press. You can either put like a measuring tape or measuring stick down and line it up evenly through the space that you have. Like ours was 4.5 inches. We wanted to stay within 4.5 inches. Line it up that way and put heat resistant tape down on the letters. And so once it's on the heat press, you'll just tape it down like this. So that way it's completely flat. Those bigger letters look pretty sweet in just 4 letters. That's a good look. Or that's all at once. Or you can take each one individually, put tape over the top of them, and press on each one individually. If you're pressing them on individually, the only thing you need to worry about is leaving it on a spot that you're not 100% positive you want it to be at, because that hat's going to be warm and the adhesive is going to start melting. So you want it to be in a spot, pick that spot, tape it down, and be precise with that. You can have the measuring tape on there to space it out a little bit, or it's easy to do by hand and space it out that way. I just wanted to tell you that because spacing is everything when it comes to the design of the words onto the hat. So you really want to make sure it's precise, and you really don't want to get that adhesive melting too much. So back to the tutorial. We're doing the final touches to the hat. We're placing on the shamrock to finish our placement of all the leather pieces, and we have our machine set to 280 degrees on the top platen, 320 degrees on the bottom platen as usual. And this is a thinner hat, so it's not quite as thick as the Richardson 112. We're gonna be at 3 to 4 pressure on this hat specifically. Now I'm gonna take a piece of non-stick paper, like I always do, just for a little precautionary bit. I don't know. I don't want anything to come off onto my heat sheet and ruin my heat sheet. It's a little more expensive than non-stick paper. So I pressed down on it, and now I'm closing the the heat press. I'm just cranking that to get the pressure a little bit more, because I'm used to doing Richardson 112s. And there we have it. We released it. And final reveal. If you ordered the hat extra crispy, it came out exactly perfect. I mean, this is clean, clean, clean. Woo! That is clean. I appreciate you guys following along to this video. Hopefully I was able to bring a new concept, a new idea to your attention, and maybe you can make your own leather patch. Still don't have a name for it. Leather patch letter hats. But if you did like it, if you did get something out of it, please like the video. And if you don't mind subscribing, I know I mentioned earlier the gain in subscribers was insane. Well, I started making this video on Saturday. It is now Tuesday, a couple days later, and I am officially up to 408 subscribers. That is 27 subscribers in just a couple days since I started making this video. Still mind-blowing. I don't understand. I appreciate it so much. I may not understand it, but I appreciate it like crazy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And don't forget, my email is in the description below. If you want to inquire about your own leather patch hats, maybe just leather patches or letters to go on hats like any of these. This is a sick Christmas hat we did. Just let me know. Send me an email, get a quote. I'll get back with you, and I appreciate you guys staying tuned. Thank you so much. Bye.